We are live with Lunch Break Live. Welcome, Lindsay, the beauty and food expert and health wellness person. We're so excited to have you. What are you making today?
Oh my gosh. Well, today we are going to make what I call your game day, not treat, but it really is for those of you. I loved buffalo chicken dip. I'm not going to lie. I'm a spice girl all day long. Like, I'll pass on desserts. But when it is time to eat something, I'm all about the bread and the cheese. And so going plant-based, I definitely had to find a replacement. So some of the things I am infamously known for and often asked when I am attending a party, one is my spinach and artichoke dip, and the other is this buffalo ChickenLESS dip. And it is divine. It never lasts long in our fridge, if it even makes it there. Usually it's gone on the table. And the best part is that if you have meat eaters in your life, they won't know the difference. So right now I'm just dicing up the onion. The recipe is live on the website. So if you are if you want to follow that along, and I know Jane's gonna put it here and it's gonna be everywhere, but what I'm starting with is a medium white onion. I'm just gonna get my little induction cooking top going so that I could face you, because otherwise I'd be back there with my back to you at the stove. And I'm simply dicing the onion. So I want to just show you guys this neat little tip. I'm not going to do it here, but the truth of the matter is pretend this is your cutting board. When I cut my onion, I'm cutting towards the root. So this is the root of the onion. There have been a number of marital fights about this in my house. So again, the root is at the top. It's literally what keeps it all together, and you slice up. So you slice the onion, cut it into two parts. This was my onion all put together. And then when it's cut, sliced through the root, it becomes two halves. Haha, two halves make a whole. And then you cut towards the root in this fashion. And you make some, yeah, it's amazing. But don't go all the way. Make sure you keep the root on the top, okay? So just cut two in a number of layers. This one has 1, 2, 3 layers. The smaller the dice, the smaller the layers. And then all you're gonna do is turn it the other way and cut again, going up to, but not into that root. So
okay. Lindsay, here's the scoop. You are teaching us all something brand new. So I'm really excited to see how you do this. Welcome everybody to Lunch Break Live. If you're just joining us, this is Paige Parsons-Roach, host of Lunch Break Live. We've got Lindsay here is showing us how to cut up this onion. This is so exciting. I really want you to show us once you've done it, you did, up close.
Let me just show you halfway so you can see the whole thing. Okay, so this is the original top. This is the root. I told you don't get rid of it. And it was originally like this. And so this one, I wish I could do it on camera, but I'm going to just mimic it again. If this would, my hand was the cutting board, I would cut the knife and I hold my hand flat on top so you don't have to worry about your fingers. I always tell my kids, make a boat, put your palm there, and you cut up towards the root, but not into the root, in as many layers as you need. So the more layers, the smaller the dice. And then all you do is, it's like tic-tac-toe. So you drew the lines this way, and then you draw the lines the other way. Again, not going into the root, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. And I'll show you, it creates the most simple and the most perfect dice. And again, I'm doing this right now live with you guys on camera. And so you're gonna see how fast this other half of my onion turns into a nice diced up, ready to go into the pan onion. So that was it.
There it is.
And you have the two roots over here. These are gonna go in my compost bin. Sorry, let me go the right way. Those will go in my compost bin. And look at all of those diced onions, perfectly sized and ready to go in the pan. So
we have a question. What if you are not an onion lover and you want to make this dip? What do you do?
Oh, okay. So if you're not an onion lover and you don't like the texture of onions, sorry, you guys, I'm a gardener, so it has to go in the compost. It's just the way I work.
Thank you so much. It's huge. We need more composting in the world.
Yes, I love it. If you are not a fan of onion, I totally get it. I love onion flavor. If you like the flavor, but you don't like the texture or something, you could add onion powder. But the other option in this, because what the onions do is they actually create a little bit of the crunch when you're biting it, just like the celery. You could do extra celery, or you could add jicama or water chestnuts in, dicing those up to get that same kind of crunch. So either one of those are a perfect replacement if onions are just not your style.
Love it. Love it. Great idea. Okay, everybody, this is so exciting. This is the most delicious buffalo chickenless dip ever. And guess what? Get ready for a drum roll, everybody. We are going to have a blender dance today. Yes. Prepare you. Tom was saying he's driving. You're going to want to pull over for this, Tom. Got a little bit of time. But
so yeah. with the next thing I'm adding, so just to keep everybody up to date, I'm dicing 1 medium onion. If you don't have a food mover, like, please do yourself a favor. Look at this. This is, that onion was it was actually a little bit more large than it was small, so I'm reserving a little bit, but look at that. You can dump it, you can move it. It has stopped the messes on my floor. So I have those onions going right now. I put about a tablespoon of oil. I'm using Sun Cocoa. That's my preferred brand. I like that it is intended for high heat. It is always necessary for me if I'm consuming oil. I really strive to have organic. And so all I'm doing right now is tossing these onions in 1 tablespoon of that oil as I'm dicing up some celery. And again, you can use, I always tell people, use as much plants. You guys, I'm going to tell you a story, or a truth. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to have a confession, really, is what I meant to say. I never measured for this. I measured for it so I could put it on the blog. I measured for it for you. I don't measure for this recipe. Once you make it, I take as much celery as I want. I almost always double the batch. If you're looking at this recipe, I gave a 1 can recipe because I think it's, it's nice for those that may be serving a smaller crowd. But I'm going to be really honest with you. If I am taking this to a party, oh look, it's like I'm getting like a facial. If I'm taking this to a party, I am 100% doubling that batch. I don't think I've ever taken any home, so it's definitely a good idea. And so right now, all I'm going to do is saute and slightly warm these veggies. I'm actually going to stop this because I'll show you the pan. Okay, so we're just going to warm those. But the truth of the matter is I have some done. So those will go in the next batch. And so once you have this part of it done, and what you will notice is I haven't added any salt. And the reason I don't add any salt is that, yes, you can use traditional Red Hot. I try to find a cleaner buffalo sauce for our family. This is the cleanest I've been able to find. It's the Primal Kitchen. If you find a recipe or you make one of your own, please make sure you get a hold of me because I have not been able to perfect that. But I have my onions and my already pre-sauteed celery here, and I added in the garlic. So the final part that I would have done there is I would have crushed this garlic. I would love to be able to show you how, but I just used the back of the knife. I'm sure you know how. Crush the garlic, and then every head of garlic for me, I don't mince, you guys, if you're noticing. It is always going to be in a French press, in a garlic press. We're not making coffee, we're making garlic. So yeah. So I tell people, I often find people who don't understand, they say, is it really important to have a garlic press? I just want to demo this for you guys here right now. At 1 clove of garlic and how fast and how little, my hands won't stink at all. And watch this. It's all ready, and you just shave it off with a knife and it goes right into your mix.
There it is, everybody. If you're just joining us, we're here with Lindsay. She is a health and beauty expert, y'all. Plus, we're going to be learning about her indoor garden that then she turned, I guess it's called a garden, and how you are raising your son. Do you have more than one person?
I do. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old son. Yep.
Okay. So, so I just jumped in here for a second to say that. I'm so excited. Yes, the recipe will be on Jane Unchained News. We do try to get it up within 48 hours. Sometimes it comes sooner, but you'll be able to check that out within a couple of days to find the recipe and story about Lindsay. Now, where are we at with the recipe? And will you please tell us about your tower?
Yes. So here's yes, I absolutely will. So here's the deal. Next, I'm on, and I've already pre-shredded some jackfruit. I am using canned jackfruit. You can use live, fresh, which is alive, but you can use fresh, but it's hard to find. I live in Michigan. So again, I like this brand. I like that the Native Forest brand. I like that they don't use any BPA. I like that they're organic. And when you get these cute little cubes of jackfruit, it's this simple, you guys, to shred. That's all you have to do. Just crush it up with your fingers. There is a little seed or a little pod in every one. You don't have to take it out. It just takes a little extra dexterity with your fingers to pinch it up. And so I shred this, and you're going to find, and I'm going to bring it close to the camera so you can see. So I'm going to show you the rest. And I find that this is amazing, an amazing chicken replacement whenever you're looking for that texture.
Yes, jackfruit all the way. Look at this jackfruit, everybody. Now, Lindsay, I keep hearing you say clean. So what are you looking for when you are looking at a can of something to make sure it's clean? What are you looking for? Because I can tell you're a mother who pays attention to details. Take it away.
Yeah, well, that kind of takes us back to what you asked before, which was the tower. So I really adopted the tower into our life about nearly 8 years ago now, because I wanted my kids to have a hand in growing. And again, we live in Michigan. You can only grow about half of the year. And the truth of the matter is, my neighbors were spraying their soil and they were treating it with fertilizers and chemicals. And so I couldn't have organic in my yard anyways. And the squirrels and all the other animals were eating what I didn't kill from a lack of watering. So when I found this tower that can come indoors and has lights, and I've now actually integrated it into a number of schools because we have a full curriculum program, both core-based curriculum and project-based learning. So you can integrate it in, and in territories like mine, kids can actually feel, touch, and taste and take part in growing. And this is important because where our food comes from is important. So when I talk about clean, the reality is the cleanest food is that is grown locally and grown without chemicals, and you're able to eat it quick in relationship to the time from when it's been picked. So, we want to be able to pick vine ripened produce, meaning it's ripened and it's ready to be consumed right now. And the faster we eat it from that moment, the more nutritious it is. So I strive to provide options and opportunities for us to eat as much of that as possible. I grow indoors all year round. I grow outdoors. I have a soil garden as well. You might hear my dog, sorry. But with that, when I still do have to buy stuff. So what am I looking for when I'm buying? I use 2 apps. I like the EWG app, Environmental Working Group, and the Think Dirty app. Both of those apps are databases that you can use this handy dandy phone, and you can actually scan things when you're in the restaurant or in the store, not the restaurant, when you're in the store, and you you're wanting to see how many chemicals, or is this a clean option? And then the final thing I would say is a really easy way to ensure is to look for this little mark. So that USDA organic mark on your products, it does not mean perfection, but it's the best we have right now. So I know that there's a new label that's in the works, a regenerative organic, that will reign supreme when it's here. But until that time, the best we can do in this country, in the United States, is USDA organic that will ensure we come in contact with the least amount of pesticides most often. So that's my tidbit there. Did that help?
Amazing. And we'll put some of these resources in our story as well. Okay, what are we doing now with this amazing dip coming our way?
You have 2 options, but I'm going to just show you the simple one because I'm going to pretend I would bake this today, because you can heat it on the stove. You could throw all of this in, saute, add in the cheese dip, and be ready to go. But the truth of the matter is that most times I usually toss it together and throw it in the oven and kind of bake it off while people are arriving. So with that, all I'm doing is I have my hand shredded jackfruit. I'm going to add that to a bowl. I'm going to add my pre-sauteed garlic, onions, celery. Could have any modification. You could add in more veggies or, replacements if any of those don't suit you. But traditionally, these are the things that are in this dish. And then you are going to add in, now how much hot sauce you want is truly dependent on your flavor profile. I say go light, you can always add more. Our family is a family of heat. So we like, well, at least my husband and I, we like the heat. The kids are a little bit opposite. So with that being said, I simply, if I can, open my, my hot sauce. And then with that being said, I just either eyeball, or you can measure a 1/4 cup at a time. I'm gonna eyeball, you guys, but the recipe again, because I know we can't get too much here. So I just put a really nice heavy helping on that. And then I'm gonna spin it up, just swirl that up really quickly. And if you wanted to be able to serve it immediately with no baking, you would just keep this all in your pan. So you'd saute the onions, the garlic, the celery, add the jackfruit to it, add the buffalo sauce to it, keep it in the pan, keep it warm, top it with the cheese sauce that we're gonna add, and keep it heated, and then serve right from there or into a bowl, or you can bake it off. So again, I'm doing this whole way. I'm adding it together. We're gonna just set that aside. That's ready, and now it's time to make a cashew cream sauce, which, you guys, this is the base for, I think, all things vegan. I joke about that, but kind of not, because
true. Lindsay, a quick question. Betty Ann Cornwall wants to know, she's tried pre-made jackfruit. She didn't like it and is wondering what else you could use to replace it. And I also just want to say, sometimes, Betty Ann, it is about the seasoning. And sometimes if it's in brine, you have to rinse it with water, because sometimes they'll put the jackfruit brine in brine and it has kind of a, anyway, you take it away, Lindsay.
Well, my answer is simple. This brand right here, Native Forest, try it. That's my first give. My second give is Hearts of Palm. Could be a reasonable trade out. You won't get the same texture as the chicken, but if you chop it and kind of hand shred, you can kind of mirror it. I make a seafood dip out of that, so it's a good replacement. I would say, you know, again, it's going to give a good alternative. The other thing is that you could make this without any jackfruit at all and just go heavy veggie and all the same flavors, and you're going to get a really nice profile. Probably be a little harder to squeeze by the meat eaters, but again, you know, to meet yourself where you are in regards to your eating preferences. So that would be my give, but I also agree with you, Paige, 100%. Make sure you rinse off the jackfruit, and many times if you don't actually like pan saute, like if I was just going to put this on the table and serve it to you, you may feel a little bit, I call it like that like bite, like that bitterness. So the reality is often sauteing it and cooking it just a little bit like you would the onions and celery will take that away as well. So those would be a couple of my tips. Does that help? I forgot.
Yeah. Love it. And Tom, get ready. I think she's going to be loading up that.
We're going to be doing a blender dance. Get ready to park that car, Tom.
I love it. So yeah, Tina says also rinse it well and then squeeze it out. Tom says he recommends boiling the jackfruit for about 20 minutes and then rinse it twice. Okay. And then Tina says cook it down. There we go. And then we're also wondering where we can buy that brand. You know, we are international, so it might be tricky, but maybe you can order it. Yeah. So there you go. Now, Lindsay is in Michigan. Betty Ann, I'm trying to remember where you are, but look for that brand. It's called Nature's Best.
Native Forest. I actually buy as much as I can from them often. I do like their brand. So they have a considerable amount of great products for sure. And thanks to everyone for all your tips adding in. I love it. And I'm going to be watching this back and learning some from you. So I love this community. So next, you guys, I'm going to add in the blender, make the cashew cream. You probably all made one. There's a lot of different variations. I'm going to add a little bit of organic veganese in. You could just use more cashews if this is not your style or too prepared for you. Totally your call. But with that, I always add my wet ingredients in my blender first. It just helps to get the motor going, and it ensures that I don't add too much liquid and then end up with like a soppy mess. So I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of, I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of mayo. Let's make sure I told you I don't, let's make sure I do the right one for this particular. For the single recipe, I am going to use, 1/4 cup of mayo. I had to think about that. And then I am going to, so all I've done is I have pre-soaked some raw, unroasted, not salted, organic cashews. And I've soaked them in some filtered water that was heated. So essentially I heated my tea kettle, I poured it on top, I say 10 to 15 minutes is really all you need to soften them, but you can also do this with cold water in the fridge overnight, or you can leave it a little longer. The longer, the softer. So I don't know. I think I filled it an hour ago. So I don't want to lie to you guys and tell you it's like not been in there. But with that being said, I'm just simply draining off the water. So now I just have wet cashews, dumping those in there. There's a quarter cup of mayo, and then I have a half a cup of water. I'm gonna do about a quarter cup, maybe an eighth of a cup, just to start. I will drizzle it in. Well, yes, cashew cream sauce, absolutely. I will drizzle it in as we're doing our blender dance because the truth is that you blend, blend, blend until this looks like something like a sorbet. Like you want to look down and it looks like a frosting. So I just blend until it's there, and I add water until it's there. And again, you're not seeing me add any salt, because so many times these actually contain a ton of sodium. But at the end, I'll always give it a little taste. I can add more, and I can always add more hot sauce as well. So here goes our blender dance, y'all. Get ready. Okay, we are going to check. Ooh, we are almost there. We are almost there. I'm just going to do manual, a little bit more, a little bit more. That's like the nut butter program. It does not mess around. All right, you guys. So, cashew cream, you can see it in there, scrape down the blender, and then we just add it in. So, I'm gonna dump, I'm gonna scrape. Sorry you can't see, but I will bring it that way. I think I got some stuff on my face. It like literally kicked back at me. Always fun when you're doing things live, friends. Always freaking fun. I love it. Okay, so toss that little puppy back over there. Once it is in there, we can see, oh, so pretty. And you swirl, you heat, and you eat. That's literally what you do. Swirl, heat, and eat. So you could throw it in the oven at 325 for 15 minutes. You can top with a little bit of breadcrumb. And by the way, I would recommend a vegan and, well, a gluten-free breadcrumb ideally, but you can top in a nice dish with some breadcrumbs. You can even put, a shredded vegan cheese if you want and broil it off. But you heat, you serve, you enjoy. And I always pair it with lots of veggies and always some crackers because everyone likes the crunch. But serve it up with veggies, put it on the table. The only thing I ever remind people is to always ask at an event in which you don't know everyone if anyone has any nut allergies, because often for those of us that are plant-based, we forget that there are many people that have allergies with nut-based, and this isn't something that people would assume have nuts, especially if, oh shit, that's funny. Oh, I didn't mean to swear. Tom, it's in, yes, I do add nutritional yeast. It's right here. I was too busy talking. It goes in this dish. It goes in the cashew cream. Thank you, my love, for calling it out. It's in this one. It's in the amazing finished version. So yes, in the cashew cream. I apologize. It wouldn't be a Lindsay episode if there wasn't a small, little misstep. So I love it so much. Thank you for remembering, Tom. You're my new favorite. Nutritional yeast, 1/4 cup. You can always add more if you love the cheesy texture, and you would have added this in with your mayo at the bottom, your cashews, your water, and your nutritional yeast. Those 4 ingredients, not hard, but sometimes you miss it.
All right. So listen, this has been so much fun, everybody. Are we excited to have Lindsay back? Oh yeah. Now, a couple things I want to bring up from your bio is you are a beauty expert. Now, tell us a little bit about that. And also I want to know how you keep your kids healthy. You know, you feed them with the plant-based foods, but also tell us a little bit more about what you're all about. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So beauty is, I love Betty, and yes, life happens. Thank you for loving me through it. I hope that you enjoy it even without seeing it with nutritional yeast. So beauty is, I started my life behind the chair, or I should say my professional career behind the chair at 17 years old. So I literally graduated high school with a cosmetology license. It was the best decision I made to get out of high school in my life. There was more to it than that. I don't want to minimize it, but there was a real reason why I chose to do it. And through that career, I started working with a hair color company that I now have the great privilege of managing the US territory. And so I've done a lot of things in the hair industry. I've been a commissioned stylist, I've been a suite owner, I've been an educator, I've been an education director, and through all of those experiences, I love to help people. The color line that I represent is something that is more naturally founded, but there is no chemical-free color. And so I just encourage people to become, conscious consumers. It doesn't mean you can't do something, but be aware of when you're making certain decisions and know how to do them better. And then I work with the beautiful, amazing professionals that make the whole world beautiful. So that's what I do. And how do I help my kids? Well, the truth is plant-based eating came later in my life and even later in their lives. And so to be honest and be truthful, my kids are not completely plant-based. I am striving to be a model so that they continue to eat more, and they do choose to eat a ton of plants. My kids are wonderful eaters. They eat diversely. They really aren't picky, but at the end of the day, I just hope that I can show them what eating healthy looks like, feels like, and tastes like. And I hope that through that, it will carry on into their future. And I also believe that we don't force people to become plant-based, we invite them to be. And so I do that even with my children.
Well, also we were talking about that vitamin, because my kids were on that too for a while. What's that called again? What is it?
So the Grow Tower that I use also has the impact, it has encapsulated, I said impact, this means impact in my mind, encapsulated produce. And so, yeah, I work with the ChickenLESS company. I'm super inspired by them. The whole food nutrition, you guys, all of this is amazing. And obviously this is junk food, vegan food, but made from whole food. So this is what I always say, it's an upgrade, but I wouldn't eat this every day, right? Cashews are great, but there's a considerable amount of fat in this. I don't measure any of that stuff. But the truth of the matter is even when we eat the diversity of plants, our plants are growing from nutrient depleted soil. They're traveling a really long way to get to us often. And so we're not eating nutrient rich, and we're often not getting the variety that most of us need, or really that could create optimal health. And so all it is more encapsulated food. I strive to stay away from supplements, any micro or macro doses of singular nutritional, items or elements. But I really do believe in the power of, if you can take this and you can cook it any way, I don't care if you pop it in your mouth, saute it, or you put it in a dehydrator and pulverize it. I want to get more of this. And so that's what I help my kids do with that encapsulated nutrition, is just to be sure that with the gulp of some water, they can get 30 plants every day. And so that is really what I do with that, and how I've helped over 1,000 families include more plants and became a plant warrior through it. So that's my story.
Amazing, Lindsay. People want you back. I want to say hi to everybody. And Cornwall and Tina, Tom, as well as we have, I know this is such an exciting crew. People here are regulars. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Cashew cream cheese sauce on this buffalo delicious ChickenLESS. Yummy. Tina, did I already say? And Ruby, as well as a few others here that just so excited to have you all. Brandy. And
something to show you too, guys. This is the wrap. I just thought of it. Literally, the names, you guys all being here, like wrap that up in this and do yourself a favor and have lunch on me, okay?
Wait, show us those wraps again.
They're the coconut wraps. You guys, I have a, go look on my Instagram. I just made a sandwich with these, but they're coconut wraps. The ingredients are literally coconut meat, organic coconut water, organic virgin coconut oil. That's it. It's in here, and then you take them out, and they're the most amazing, delicious wraps. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do when I'm all done here. Is I'm gonna take some. Well, I'm gonna put some nutritional yeast on top, and then I'm gonna throw it in one of those wraps. So definitely putting that out to the audience as well.
Awesome. All right, everybody, we're so excited. Yes, we will definitely invite Lindsay back. Yum, yum. Love wraps, definitely. Thank you all for all your comments, all your just amazing, just coming back in here. Yes, I'll post her Instagram. Yes. Okay, Lindsay, just tell us real quickly, what is your Instagram again?
Well, it's super simple. It's Lindsay, and if you type it in, you'll really only find one anyways, but there's an underscore and then com, because my website is lindsaya.com. So you can find me as Lindsaya. I've never met another one on all platforms.
Okay, so there it is, lindsaya_com. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Lunch Break Live. On our way out, will you show us the dip? And just bring it up close. Everybody, look at this. Oh, your mouth is watering, I know. And we'll see you next time on Lunch Break Live, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.